Hey guys, this is Chris Mincola with the Mincola Group over at West USA Realty. And I wanted to talk to you today about some options that you might not know about if you're thinking about buying a home or selling a home and buying a home, and some things you should be aware of. So some of this may apply to some of you, all of you, or none of you, but just some things to be aware of out there. Maybe you can share with your family and friends. Right now, one of the biggest things that we're seeing out there as an issue is we have low inventory and people are maybe not too worried about their home selling, especially during the busy season that we're heading into right now, spring and summer. But and as we see interest rates drop, but they're wondering, well, where do I go to next? That's we have a lot of people maybe, that we talk to wondering what to do next and how they can do it most effectively for their situation. Again, these are just some options out there. Now, number one, for first-time home buyers or home buyers who are looking to buy a home but maybe don't have the down payment, there are down payment assistance programs out there. One of the things, and again, I'm not a loan officer. My wife, son, our lending partner, our preferred lender at Modern Home Lending, they can certainly help you out with this information a little bit more in detail. But the concept is there of down payment assistance. There's also tax credits for first-time home buyers, so you can actually get up to about $2,000 a year in tax credits. There's a lot of things beyond no down payment, for instance, for even veterans. Okay. But for FHA conventional loans, there are down payment assistance programs out there. There are tax beyond the regular usual tax benefits. There are other tax programs that you can take advantage of. There's a lot of different things. That's why it's really important to be in touch with a realtor and loan officer team that really and you can use anybody you want, but really kind of and go out there and compare and contrast, ask all the questions, and find out more. But down payment assistance programs, tax benefits beyond the usual tax benefits that we think of when we think of home ownership are out there. And then for those who are thinking about selling a home, excuse me, allergies are just horrible right now. But there are things like HELOCs. Now, HELOCs are great. So even if you're not going to sell your home, you can get a HELOC if you have equity in your home. And again, loan officer can go into detail of this. But the great thing is, especially right now with credit cards, the Fed's fund rate being raised, one of the things that gets affected by that are credit cards, other lines of credit, things like that. But with a HELOC, you may find, or home equity line of credit, where you can pull equity out of your home and basically get money for that, cash for that now, without having to sell your home. Is you can have that sitting there even as just like an emergency fund. Or if you wanted to pay off a bunch of high interest credit cards or other debts, okay, on furniture or car loans, higher interest rate than you would get with a HELOC. Okay. And again, HELOCs interest rates are going to change by the day and the week and all that. But right now, we can pretty safely say they're probably going to be lower than a lot of those things you're paying on already. So you pull the money out of your home that way, use it right away, use part of it, all of it, or just have it sitting there as an emergency if you need it. A lot of people right now getting stressed by all the extra money they're having to pay out with all inflation, finding it hard to make ends meet. Maybe we're even working 2 or 3 jobs right now, full-time job, part-time job, along with that, whatever. So this is one way of kind of making sure on that end you could be safe and have that kind of sitting there, or use it right away. You could even use it for things like maybe you want to put a pool in, and you may get a better fee structure. You may get better rates, all that, than you would with a cash out refi. Okay. And then kind of see what the options and scenarios would be on that. Also, another way to use a HELOC is you might want to use it to go have that money ready to go for your down payment on your next purchase or on a purchase on an investment property. Okay. And utilize that to leverage your equity into an investment property, or to buy the home you want to move into next without being rushed with having to sell your house in order to get that money out. Along those same lines, there's also what are called bridge loans. Okay. And these bridge loans are great ways to maybe go right out, put your home on the market, go right out, find the property you want, be able to put in an offer, while your home is listed or under contract, and have that bridge loan so that you have the down payment and the funds in order to go ahead and purchase that house and get your escrow open and everything, and get your down payment done. And then move into that house and then sell your house. Okay. So in other words, you could do it with the HELOC, or you could do it with the bridge loan, and the loan officer can go into details of the pros and cons of both of that. But with the bridge loan, the idea is you could actually buy the house, take care of the down payment on the next property you want to go to, and then sell your house later without having to deal with showings, especially if you had kids and dogs and got to keep the house clean, and all that for a couple of weeks of showings or whatever, or the first weekend of showings in order to get people through the door and all that kind of stuff that happens with your normal traditional type of sale. This saves you from having to deal with all that. Okay. And then, list the house, get it under contract, and move on with life. But the HELOC and the bridge loan are kind of two other ways to combat this issue of being rushed or having to deal with showings, or having the capital in order to maybe do an investment property or have the down payment for the next property. So you can unlock the equity you have in your home, or get that bridge loan in order to move on. That's why I call it a bridge loan, to kind of get you over there, then sell this over here. Right. So, and then of course, through the proceeds of the sale, pay back the bridge loan, right? So anyways, just wanted to make sure that people know that there are, and there's a ton of other things we could go on and on about, but there are some options out there for people without down payments, or don't want to be rushed, not quite sure about, they want to deal with all the showings. Maybe they want to fix the house up for sale if they need to do some work to it or whatever. After they move on, maybe they want to just start investing in other properties. These are some options to help you along the way to move on with life, or build your real estate portfolio, or get into the equity game of real estate to begin with down payment assistance. So guys, if you have any other questions at all, we'd love to be able to help you out with that. And one other thing I will mention, things like that, if you have maybe a family member who wants to help you out, but maybe nobody really has the money for the down payment or whatever, maybe doing a home equity line of credit might be a way to talk about, how they could gift you some cash. And obviously all that has to be paid back. And again, these are details you want to go into detail with a licensed loan officer. I am not a licensed loan officer. I'm not an investment financial planner or anything like that, but I am a real estate agent. I understand these concepts, and I understand there are ways to help people kind of get to their real estate goals and kind of solve these issues or problems, or things that they just aren't even aware of, that they could be gaining this type of equity or moving on with their life, having their own home that they own, and the space that they want. So guys, if you have any other questions at all, reach out 480-788-8569. Love to be able to get more questions on this answered for you, or go into any other questions you might have and link you up with one of our loan professionals so that they can get into the details and scenarios on this stuff and see if it works for you. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.